right, I'd like to call to order this evening's school committee meeting at 6:36 on Wednesday, May 7th. Those attending tonight's meeting should be aware the meeting is being audio and video recorded by Shirley Public Access at ASRSD. Any audience members who wish to record any part of the meeting must inform the chairperson, who will announce the recording. This is to comply with the Mass Wiretap statute. The listings of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed. And other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. Per the Air Shirley Regional School Committee policy, BEDH, public comment is not a discussion, debate, or dialogue between citizens and the school committee. It is a citizen's opportunity to express an opinion on issues of school committee business. Citizens will have 3 minutes to express their views. Any staff members addressing the committee are reminded of their obligations under state and federal student record laws with respect to maintaining the confidentiality of student record information and refraining from disclosing any personally identifying information regarding students. All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bresnahan?
Here.
Mrs. Kennard?
Here.
Mr. Quincy?
Here.
Mrs. Reishu?
Here.
Mr. Ruprecht? Ms. Span?
Okay. Now we have our high school representatives.
If I may, before we start.
Yes, of course.
This is Nia's last meeting, as she will be graduating at the end of this month. The last day for seniors is the 29th.
I'm shocked you knew that.
Oh, I'm counting down.
Mr. Christie was unable to be here tonight for a family commitment, but he has written a thank you that he has asked me to read to school committee. Good evening, members of the Air Shirley Regional School Committee. I apologize that I cannot be present in person tonight. My high school sophomore has a Pops concert at his school. However, I couldn't let this meeting pass without thanking Nia for all of her work over the last 2 years. Nia is the first Air Shirley student to serve a 2-year term on school committee, and she has set a high bar. No pressure, Colin. Sorry, I had a window pop up here. She has set a high bar for all of the students who follow her. In her role, she has worked with 2 other students, Devin last year and Colin this year. She's become a mentor to Colin, sharing with him her experiences while giving Colin the space to be himself. As a student leader, Nia has thrived at Air Shirley, acting as a leader for her class, the National Honor Society, the Racial Diversity Alliance. As a peer mentor, the softball team, her candy selection was apparently unmatched, and every organization through which she has channeled her energy. The adult members of the school rave about her ability to selflessly lead. Nia has left a lasting impact on the high school, and we will truly miss her next year. As this is her final school committee meeting, I can tell you that I have learned more from Nia than I am sure she has learned from me. I believe that's true. Our meetings are the highlights of my week, and I will never forget her laugh and joyous energy. Nia, best of luck at Howard University. You're amazing. You are an amazing leader, and we can't wait to hear about your success. Please keep in touch. Spencer S. Christie.
All right, back to business.
You gonna do a song and dance? All right.
You want to go first? Yeah, sure, I can go first. I wanted to start by advertising for my student council this weekend. We're doing our mini golf fundraiser out on the turf on Saturday. It's 3 to 7, and on Sunday it's, I believe, 1 to 4. And tickets are $7 for adults and $5 for children. So we'd love to come see you guys support. Also, for me, what's going on right now is AP tests. I'm pretty stressed because they're next week. I have AP Lang on Wednesday and physics on Friday, and I'm super nervous for the physics one because it's very difficult. Definitely gonna have to be like studying nonstop for the next week, but I do like how I can take the day off of school afterwards and go get something to eat. So it's pretty nice. But I'm definitely I'm really locked in and focused on the AP test right now at the moment.
So for me recently, I went on the music department's trip to Hershey, Pennsylvania. I'm part of the choir. We got first place and an excellent score. So
Wow.
really
Congratulations.
proud of that because the choir has come really far in the last couple of years. So I was really excited for the choir, and the concert band got second and the jazz band got first. So it's a really good competition for the music department, and just like it was also really exciting. I'd never been to Hershey Park before, so it was really fun. I'm not the biggest fan of like candy and chocolate, but I love roller coasters, so that was really fun. The year's wrapping up, obviously senior year. We have 17 days left, I think, or it might be 16. I don't know. It's something in that range. It's really like it's feeling like so slow but so quick at the same time, and like I'm so excited, but at the same time like the kind of like nostalgia of high school starting to kick in now. Like today we had to pick up our health files, and it was like, oh, like this is getting really real. I had to turn in some textbooks. I turned in my math textbook today, and my math teacher, she was like, are you excited to be leaving? And I was like, yeah, I'm excited, but at the same time it's just like I'm leaving all my friends. I'm going, no, one of my other friends is going farther, but it's just like we're all separating, so that's like really sad. And also I got told today by Mr. Christie that I was chosen as one of the honor essays to speak at graduation. So I'm really excited about that because I was always saying how I really wanted to speak at graduation. So I was like, yes. And then we're having Senior Spirit Week coming up, and I think those days, like we're doing another like commitment day kind of thing besides like May 1st, because some of the seniors, especially us who went on the music department trip, didn't get to participate in commitment day. So we wanted to have another one where the ones who are on the trip get to participate. I think they're doing Throwback Thursday, and then there's one other, but I think it's also the same day as the senior hike. So I don't know if a lot of people are going to do the one that's the same day as the senior hike. But yeah, it's over. I'm excited. I'm ready to go to school. But as I said, leaving my friends, I'm going to be the first one to leave because I move in August 5th. So it's really early. I start classes really early too. So I'm just like, I'm excited to go to school, but at the same time, like, leaving my friends, also leaving my family. I'm leaving my big sister's here, but I'm a little more sad because I'm leaving my little sister. She's 9 years old, so it's like her big years of like growing up, I feel like I'm gonna be like gone for, so I'm kind of sad about that, but like my older sister's here to, keep her in good shape, I guess. Who knows? But yeah, I also want to say like thank you for allowing me to be here for the last 2 years. It's been like really cool to see school committee meetings. Like I feel like before like getting this opportunity, I didn't really know anything about the school committee or like who was on the school committee. I didn't even know what they did really. So it's been really cool to see that. And so I want to say thank you for allowing me to be here, because like it's a really big opportunity for like the student representatives to get to be here. And yeah, I think that's all I have.
If you're back for Thanksgiving, you can come and report to us next week.
Okay. I sure will.
Any questions or comments, Jim?
Well, I get to give you like all this advice because I just gave it to my kids, so I'm all warmed up with all this stuff. Old people always give advice, whether astronauts, and we'll just sort of roll with that. It's like, with my kids anyway, and I think with most people, you go off to college the first time and you're like, am I gonna academically cut what's going on? Because people in college are smart, right? And you're gonna get there and you find out it's like, I can absolutely do this. There's a lot of angst when you get there, and things are different. Here, you can close your eyes and know exactly how everything works because you've been through the building. But there, it's all going to be new. It'll be a little bit overwhelming. You're going to find in very short order, it's like, I can actually do all this stuff. Because a lot of people kind of pigeonhole themselves and just like concentrate on their stuff. But you've done well with music and other clubs and stuff. Keep doing that, because that creates all these little circles. You're going to be fine, you know. And you're also going to find there'll be people around that you'll be wondering, how'd you get in here? I don't understand. I don't know how it happened, but they're in here. But that might be fun. Everybody's got redeeming stuff. You're going to have a terrific time with all of that. But don't tighten down to the point on your academics that you take other things away, because it's an entire experience. And right now, as you enter the next 4 years, you are going to meet people who are going to be your friends for the rest of your life. High school goes away pretty fast because everybody gets in. Right now, you've been going to school with the same people for 13 years, right? All that's, and at graduation, there are people that are going to be sitting there that you are never going to see again for the rest of your life. And you've seen them for all this time. It's a whole new opening, and you'll be able to go out there, and with the people that you're going to meet for the rest of your life, they're going to be the tightest, closest friends that you're ever going to see. So take advantage of the entire thing.
I will.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Have fun.
and for 2 years, yeah, congratulations and thank you. It's really been great having you here for a couple of years, so I appreciate it.
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Of course.
I wanted to thank Nia because like before I came here and like did this, like I don't know, I was really bad at like public speaking. I was super nervous, and I feel like you helped me a lot through it. Like you gave me advice to kind of just like help me. Yeah, I just want to say thanks.
You're welcome.
You made it a lot easier.
Oh,
So I'll try to do the same to whoever else replaces you. I'm not sure yet. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. So yeah, thank you. Nia.
Good job. Thank you both.
Thank you, Nia. It's been a pleasure having you here.
you.
Best of luck. Bye.
There you go.
Okay. Moving along to public comment. Doesn't appear we have anyone here for it. Michelle, is there anyone online for public comment? Okay. So I guess we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have some minutes, warrants, and then a donation to Page Hilltop Elementary School from Global Partners, Archer's Mobile.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as printed in tonight.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Actually, maybe do we just want to read off the donation in full, just so
Sure.
recognize for everybody watching right now?
So it's going to be a donation to Page Hilltop Elementary School. It's for $500. That's from Global Partners as a result of the relationship with Archer's Mobile, and it's going to be going to the student activities account. So thank you very much to Archer's Mobile for that donation. On to new business.
Madam Chair?
Dr. Renda?
Would you mind if we could go out of order? And Mr. Kendall is here, and I'm sure he is going to go back out to some athletic events that are happening right now. If we
Yes.
could talk about the athletic fee, and he is going to give a sports update since he is here.
Sure. Yep, absolutely.
Let's start with the sports update. That's always positive.
Let's do the fun
That's definitely more fun.
Good evening, good to see you guys. A lot of exciting things just happened today. So at our girls lacrosse team, Carly Ewa, one of our seniors, scored her 100th career goal today against Chelmsford. So congratulations to Carly for that.
And against Chelmsford, even better.
She's been one of our standout athletes for 4 years, so we're very proud of her and what she's accomplished. And she's our only member of the team over there, so it's also a challenge as being the only player on the team. So congrats to Carly. Our boys lacrosse team, which is a co-op with Lunenburg, is 8-3. We've had strong contributions from 2 of our seniors, Preston Campener and Joey Clayton. Have been really strong contributors for the team this year. Dominic Ortiz has been getting some playing time as well. So we've got 8 total playing in the boys lacrosse program with Lunenburg. They, one more win, they'll officially qualify for the state tournament, so they should. Baseball just wrapped up a game. They were away at Murdoch at Leominster because of rain. The field conditions everywhere are not great. They won, so they've improved to 4-6. 4-1 after an 0-5 start, so they're heating up at the right time. Our JV team, which has 13 members, is 3-3. And our middle school team, which is at 15 players, 2-1. Our senior night for boys baseball, if anyone's interested in coming out, will be May 21st here at the school. We'll do those after the game. So probably about 6 o'clock. Softball's in the midst of a doubleheader out right now. They're playing Murdoch. They won game 1, 8-7. They're ahead, 5-3 in the 5th when I came in here. They're 4-6 currently. Hopefully they'll be 5-6 in a couple minutes. JV just got back. They took our new minibus up to Winchendon. They defeated Murdoch 20-4. They are 5-1 on the season. We've got 14 girls on that team, so still some pretty good numbers in baseball and softball, which we're pleased with. There's a lot of schools that lost JV softball. We've been playing a lot of schools we don't normally play JV softball and baseball because a lot of schools in this area have lost those sports, so we're very happy that our numbers still allow for our teams. And it looks like for the foreseeable future we'll have pretty decent numbers in baseball and softball. Softball senior night is next Thursday. They host Worcester South Community School, and that'll be again about 6 o'clock for that. Boys volleyball, they defeated Innovation Charter School yesterday. They've had a pretty good season. We are the smallest school in the league by far. So we play teams like Wachusett Regional that has over 2,000 students. Leominster has 1,800, Fitchburg 800. Algonquin tomorrow. They're 4-7 at the moment, so they're still in the playoff hunt. Their senior night is tomorrow night. Algonquin will do that again after the game. That game starts at 5, so it'll probably be about 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock for that. So they've done a nice job. I think it's our 3rd year with that. We just continue to make some pretty good strides with our seniors. Then we have a bunch of underclassmen playing, so the future for that also looks pretty good. Our girls golf team is 1-4. We've got 9 members there. I coached the other day because Mr. Grublini was out. It was an interesting day at the golf course in the rain, but we got it in, which was good. Girls are playing great. I was impressed with how well a lot of them hit the ball straight because they would all beat me, every one of them. I told them that. They weren't impressed by that. And a really great group of kids. They did a nice job. They didn't complain at all playing in the rain. Although they could have, because it was not the best of conditions at Stowe Acres the other day. They're back in action tomorrow at Green Hill and Worcester against the Worcester conglomerate of schools. Track is 4-0. Pretty much goes without saying. That's pretty much every year. They play at Maynard tomorrow. That's our first road meet of the year. So our track is getting plenty of use. Certainly no lack of use on our track right now. We hosted the first 4 meets of the year, which is great. Costs us a few bucks in officials, but it's certainly cheaper than sending buses to Murdoch or Narragansett. So we are hosting the district meet again for the 3rd straight year. The district division 2 meet, which is on May 17th. It's an all-day event here on Saturday. Probably will start about 9 o'clock. We'll wrap up probably about 4 o'clock. Our booster club does a great job of running the concessions. They're out there tonight with flag football and middle school track. And that's their big event of the year for them. So they'll raise a lot of money, which will pay for the scholarships that they'll give out on senior night, but also all the banners throughout the course of the year, and also the flowers for the senior nights. Our middle school team just won its match today with Lunenburg. 67 athletes in middle school track. Probably could have had more, but cutting it off with a bus and a minibus. And that's probably about the limit that 2 coaches could handle anyways. Siobhan Pierce and Sam Almajri, neither of them had any experience coaching track, have done a fantastic job. Not only motivating the kids to improve, but just keeping 67 middle schoolers controlled at a meet, which is a challenge to say the least. They've done a really good job of that. They'll be competing at the middle school state relays at Zavarian Brothers in Westwood on Saturday. Do we have another home meet for them? No, they're on the road the rest of the way. Flag football, they're 7-1. They're playing 2 games right now out on the turf. They should be starting in about 15 minutes. We've got 5 schools here tonight. Monday night we have 10. And we'll be hosting it on May 27th, and that'll be their senior night. Esports, they're in their spring playoffs. They've had a very successful year. They've had a lot of kids participating, which is great, and a lot of kids who don't traditionally compete in sports. Next year they're moving to a different platform. We're going to go to Play Versus, which is great in a lot of ways because it's free, so there's no entry fee. And they added a few other video games for the kids to play, including Madden and NBA, which will certainly increase numbers, I would say. We have girls unified tracks that had a great year so far. We've got 20 athletes participating in that. They've won all their meets so far. We've got strong participation both as partners and in athletes. They're at Groton Dunstable tomorrow. Monday they're at North Middlesex, and then Tuesday they're competing in the sectionals at Drake High School. So the numbers are strong there. They're doing a great job. We've got a lot of help there, which was always nice. Both from, and I want to give credit to our track program, our varsity track program, because when they've been here, which isn't always, because sometimes they're away when we're here, they've had immense numbers volunteering and helping out. Coaches have been out there helping out. And that's a big step, having that much help from our varsity track athletes and varsity track coaches. So I want to give them credit for that. And the last thing on my agenda is on May 20th, a few students will be attending with me to the Girls and Women in Sports Day at Foxborough Stadium and John Stadium. Malia Figueroa and Chandra Dione Johnson are both definitely attending. I petitioned for a third member because Malia is a member of our unified programming, so therefore we can hopefully bring one more. That would be Emily Churchill. The exciting thing for that is not only for our girls to be able to be honored at that. James Steinberg, who was our former athletic director many years ago and a volleyball official now, will be honored for her achievements as an athletic participant, both as an athlete, a coach, an athletic director, and an official. So she pretty much checks every box. I was amazed last year when I looked through the past winners that she had not won. So I had nominated her because she was a very good mentor for me when I started here. And I know from talking to many people who went here, she was a very positive influence on not just female athletes, but the male students as well as the phys ed teacher and as the athletic director. So we're going to be very honored to be able to see her get her award on May 20th.
Jane, very fond.
And that's it on mine, unless you guys have any questions.
Go ahead.
I'm just curious, so the baseball, was that due to be on our field and
No, today was supposed to be
again?
at Murdoch. We went
Okay.
to Lemon. I was able to get Lemonster so we could play the game. Would we have been able to play here today? No. The right field is pretty wet. The infield is in good condition. The company that's been coming in working on the field has done a great job. Bob Briggs and the staff have been outstanding. The infield is in about as good as condition as I've seen it the time I've been here. We made some nice changes out there. We cut the grass out in front of the dugouts and put in clay there, which is much better because it's not flooding in that area. The grass looks great if you get a chance to go out there. I mean, it looks unbelievable. It's just 4 days of rain.
Yeah.
That's a lot for any field. Our softball field trains extremely well, so the work that we did on that really paid off. I mean, that was playable probably yesterday, but we were able to get today's games in with no problem.
Mr. Kendall, is part of the issue with the baseball field is the ledge underneath it?
Yeah, I remember when we did this, they talked about using to blowing up the ledge. They jackhammered as much as they could. There's only so much they could go down. So that's part of the problem.
So it's not draining.
We're optimistic it'll be fine tomorrow, but more rain coming on Friday and Saturday, so we'll see. Our field's been getting a lot of use at rentals as well. Might as well bring that up. We had Pylon, which is a national football 7-on-7 program, was here a couple weeks ago. We've had other football programs reach out about using the field for summer workouts and things like that. Our youth soccer programs have been using it on Sundays because Wild Road has been less than ideal conditions over there. It can only take so much rain over there as well. So we've been able to get them out there as well. We have the mini golf thing coming up this weekend for the junior class. So getting a lot of use out here, and it's good. AU baseball on the weekends when it doesn't rain, they've been using it as well. So a lot of field rentals, which is a good thing.
Go ahead.
So before we get into the nastiness about money, before we get there, so I would like to thank you, Mr. Kendall. I think that you have done a fantastic job with the sports, with other schools, with reaching out, and I hope everybody realizes the job that you do, and thank you.
Well, thank you. I will say that the majority of parents and students are awesome about, they understand that this week especially was really chaotic, and we always do our best to make the decisions in the best interest of the students. Sometimes it's hard because not everybody agrees, but I think everybody understands that this spring has been extraordinarily bad for weather. We lucked out for about 7 days, and then since then it's been raining. That's why volleyball is my favorite right now, because you never have to cancel volleyball. It's always played.
Well, thank you. I think we all thank you. And You deserve praise. Don't tell about money.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we should have went first with the user fees, and then, I don't know.
Oh, no, this is
So I would agree. I think Mr. Kendall does an excellent job as athletic director, and I think the offerings that we have at such a small district is incredible. However, with those offerings, it comes with a price. And we have collected this year, we collected $42,000 in user fees. And I know Mr. Plunkett isn't here tonight, but under his calculations, we need a little more than 3 times that amount in order to continue offering what we're offering. We have been subsidizing the athletics program. And the problem with that is that's about, with what we are subsidizing, it's at least a position, if not 2. And we could use some reading specialists. We could use, we were considering an additional math teacher at the high school. And with what we subsidize the athletics program, it is keeping us from making some of those improvements to student academics. So what we have for you to look at tonight, a little similar to what we had shown you last year. However, this is more up to date. And as you can see, it really is the best deal around still. But it is a fairly steep increase from what our families are currently paying. But if you'll notice, Lunenburg sports fees $325 with a $1,500 cap. Groton Dunstable is $500 for high school, $310 for middle school. They didn't list their family cap. They charge an additional $50 for football and hockey. Littleton is $250 per sport with a $1250 family cap. Bromfield varies. It's a minimum of $285. They do not have a cap listed, but some of their sports exceed $300. And we are proposing a $250 per sport fee with a $1,000 cap. One of the things that I did want to mention, I probably should have put it on this memo, we would offer financial assistance if there's a hardship, and Mr. Kendall does this now, we would ask them to fill out the income verification form, and we would then try to help as many families as we can. We would also reach out to local organizations, and we'll send out some notifications to our families if anybody would like to sponsor an athlete. So there's some ways to help people that need some help. However, if we can't raise user fees to this degree, we are probably going to have to cut some of the offerings that we have. The cost has just risen so drastically in the past 5 years. Our fees haven't kept up. I have asked Mr. Kendall to stay in case there are some questions that are more suited for him. And we can get into some of the financials, but I may defer and have to get back to you if it's something that I might need Mr. Plunkett to answer. But I'm happy to answer any questions. I know we were asked to hold a public forum. We are willing absolutely to do that. We could schedule that for next week and get that out to families to come. However, it really is that we need to have an increase, something close to what we're proposing, or we won't be able to offer everything that we are currently offering. Questions?
And maybe this isn't Mr. Plunkett, but being on the front line of how things are going up, is there, because it's crazy. So that's going up from $750 to $1,000. And then do we have additional money on the hockey and other things? So it's just straight, doesn't matter what you play?
Are we charging more for hockey now?
We have not been, no.
We have not been.
I couldn't remember.
So
But do they pay Lunenburg directly?
We pay Lunenburg an additional amount of money and Leominster an additional amount of money
Okay.
per player. That hasn't changed much over the time. It's gone up a little bit, but not like the other fees. The biggest things for these are busing and officials. I mean, that's really the two that have gone up substantially in the last even 3 years, but certainly 7 years since I've been here. Buses have gone up a lot.
And they're
Officials
going-
go up 3% every year. Next year they're getting a 7% raise because they can't keep people.
Right.
So for example, I'd love to play a baseball game tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful 80-degree day and there's no umpires available, so we can't.
I can bring my gear in if you want.
I got a couple people I'm making a call to, so we'll see if I can talk them into it.
So what's our per sport fee now?
$250, which covers 3 sports, up to 3 sports.
Okay, so
They pay a one-time.
now we're going to go 250 per sport?
Yeah.
Is that the change? Okay.
What's the projected revenue from this, if we kept our current participation levels, what's the projected revenue?
It'd be roughly 3 times the amount, so it's 42,000, so that would be just under $130,000.
Okay, right.
Any other questions?
No, I would make a motion that we approve the ASRD proposed per sport fee of $250 and a family cap of $1,000 for the upcoming school year. Is that good? Is that good enough?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so, yes.
Okay.
Second?
Well, just final, and we definitely, because this is going to be a hardship for, and we're going to hear this from a lot of people. So do we feel the 250 is definitely kind of the minimum, not 225, or do we've been checking that, I think, I know. But
Yeah, I mean, the last thing that we, even at this, we're going to be subsidized. I'm positive we're going to be subsidizing sports. So honestly, it's probably not enough.
Okay,
But we are.
wanted to ask that
Yeah,
question.
no, and I understand because it is a drastic increase from what we're offering, but it's not a drastic increase from what most places have been doing, right? And I think the other thing to remember is youth sports. Some of these are where this is still a deal compared to playing one season of pretty much any travel sports team right now.
Club sport.
Yeah, the
And just so we don't get caught with kind of a gotcha, right? That this is representative of like other schools as well, right? There's not going to be a couple that are close by that are much less than this, and we're going to be hearing it on Facebook. Or
The only thing you could hear on, and Mr. Kendall will know this better, but I believe Leominster and Fitchburg.
Leominster and Fitchburg, they subsidize a lot by the state.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen with funding those 2 towns, whether it's gonna go up. I mean, Leominster's building a brand new track. I'm sure that's gonna increase some costs there. They used to have a user fee. They got rid of it at COVID. They haven't brought it back yet.
They're going
You
to.
know, my guess is it's going to come back at some point. Fitchburg, their numbers are so low, I don't know that they'll, like participation numbers, I don't know that they'll try to bring anything back.
Yeah.
I believe Gardner is also in that same boat where they're subsidized a lot by the free and reduced lunch money for their athletics.
I believe Fitchburg's $50 right now because it is subsidized, and I know that because I pay it.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. But that's, I think I don't believe anyone is less. You looked up North Middlesex today, I believe, right? What was theirs?
The last they had listed was 245
245.
They
per
may be
sport,
going
but I
up.
think they went up.
Grunt might be going up again too,
Yep.
depending on what happens in town meetings in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, that was mine.
I think if we have, I mean, no one's gonna like this, but, so if you're not gonna like it, you may as well put up a number that you can live with for a couple of years, right? And I think at these numbers, we can live with this for a couple of years so people can sort of slide into it. You know, trying to shave $25 or $50 here or there is not gonna make it any more palatable when you put this change out. So you may as well take it now and take the whack, because we need the money. We have to have it.
Yeah, and we want to offer everything we're offering.
Right.
You know, I really want parents to know that they need to reach out. They can reach out to the superintendent's office, the principal's office of either the middle or high school. They can reach out to Mr. Kendall directly. If there is a hardship, we will absolutely work with families. We don't want kids not to participate because they can't afford this. You know, and when I've been I was a building administrator for a long time. Whenever we put something out for a field trip, does anybody want to sponsor a child for a field trip? There's always people who are willing to do that.
Yeah, I think doing that one would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure we get a good.
Yeah.
And with the family cap at $1,000, if I've got 2 kids in here and they're playing 2 sports each, this is a bargain. You know, this is still like, wow, it comes out to nothing. And we're not
And
paying
there are
for school lunches
opportunities
anymore.
for
so we
kids
have
to work, too.
Right.
Paid opportunities that
Right.
students could work or parents can work. Like we've had parents who work the gate at basketball, at football, help out during the 35-second clock at basketball. I have 2 students doing scoreboard and the iPad scoring for volleyball right now. It gives them a great experience, gives them a lot of experience doing something. And the volleyball officials tell me they're 2 of the best people they work with. So
Yeah.
there are opportunities for them to do that as well. But there's payment plans, like anybody who's ever reached out, we've always been able to help out in one way, some form or another.
Right.
I think maybe if we could get that out as part of the forum, because I think a lot of people are a little bit hesitant to reach out and say, I need help, but maybe if you kind of broadly advertise all these different options of ways that, you know, you can work off the cost or whatever, just so they don't feel so much like they're asking for a handout, and then maybe really advertise that opportunity to sponsor would be good, and even maybe some local businesses would be interested in sponsoring an athlete. Like I know there, you know, the signs around the field for businesses and the different opportunities they have, maybe they'd want to sponsor an athlete too. If we're allowed to do that, I don't know, maybe we're not.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Can we ask like businesses to
Yeah,
sponsor athletes as well?
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah. Anyone who wants to sponsor,
Okay.
we would not say no. I mean, if we get enough, we could possibly lower the fees. I mean, that's, you know.
I'd be more than happy to announce that at every game. That, you know,
Yeah, I
That
just
would be a
think,
great problem
yeah,
to
the
have.
more outreach we do, the
Sponsor
better it looks that we're trying before we're just like throwing it at the families.
Yeah, we're happy to do that.
Okay, so I think we have a motion. I'm gonna let someone else second it since I'm-
Second, yep.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Don't forget the softball.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall.
Go.
Multiply football, you guys. Good night.
All right, so I guess go back to new business, Dr. Rendo.
Yes, thank you. We are asking you to accept the recommendation to accept school choice students for grades kindergarten through 9 based on available seats for the 25-26 school year beginning July 1st. Just as a reminder, we don't accept school choice on a rolling basis. In the summer, we have a lottery in August based on available seats. So for instance, if someone as of now was looking to school choice into Page Hilltop in first grade, they would not be placed in the lottery because there are no available seats. Our average class size is over 22, and we have a cap at 20. So that doesn't mean that we can't have a class over 20. It just means that we will not accept school choice if our class size is over 20 in that grade level. And that would be the same for law. At grade 2 right now, the average class size is 19.7, so even if we accepted one student, that would push it over 20. And you'll notice that kindergarten is to be determined because they have not enrolled yet, so we don't know the class size. Same for the high school. We need to know how many students go to Neshoba Tech or an alternative high school before we would know the number of available seats, if any. Any questions?
The Page Hilltop second grade, could we eliminate a section? I mean, you've got 16 openings, that's an entire class.
Yeah, we have discussed that. Mrs. Faulkner, the building principal, and I actually discussed that today. She feels with some of the needs in that class that would not be the best move. Though the numbers are low for enrollment, they are not low for some of the need.
I think we've discussed this class before, and I know from personal experience, it absolutely needs to stay where it is. Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a vote.
I make a motion that presented with the openings that we have in the classes that we do school choice for the ones that are recommended tonight. And this could be reevaluated, or would it be reevaluated?
Well, if you vote to open it based on available seats, this will constantly change. Right, so we would close, open seats and we would open grade levels and close grade levels based on the seats. So you're essentially voting to allow us to open and close it based on those
okay.
seats.
All right. Then I would change my motion to allow seats to be assigned as they're opened. Does that do it?
I believe it does.
Okay. For the coming year, beginning July 1st.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Last Monday, or 2 Mondays ago, on April 28th, Bill Plunkett and myself attended the town meeting in Air, where the fiscal year 26 budget was warranted and approved.
Main Street.
Next Monday, on May 12th, Bill, myself, and I believe Mr. Cleary will be attending the Shirley town meeting for the fiscal year budget. We are hoping that it goes as smoothly as it did in Air. We have a presentation ready, but I believe, and Shirley, if I'm remembering correctly, they only ask us to present if there are questions.
Right.
So we may be presenting, we may not be. But we believe that the budget is supported by the select board and the FinCom and the town managers, so we're hoping it will be without much hesitation. So we are going to, the next item in the superintendent's report is kind of a sore spot for me. We're going to be transitioning to Aspen for our student information system for the upcoming 25-26 school year. We had moved to Power School, was it 2 years ago?
3.
3 years ago. It's been a bit of a nightmare since the switch. So we believe this was the right product for us, but it hasn't been. The support has been less than stellar. Every time we're looking to make a change or do something that is really a simple request or a simple ask of a student information system, there is an upcharge. So we decided to just go ahead and make the switch to Aspen. It's much more customizable. You kind of, when you pay, you know exactly what you're getting. We haven't been happy with Power School at all. The teachers really haven't been happy with Power School. I'm sure they're not thrilled with such a quick change. You typically don't change student information systems that quickly, but it's not meeting our needs. So we figured we might as well get this done now and kind of avoid some of the additional costs that is coming with Power School. We are confident, though, that Power School will meet the needs. Just for a little bit of background. Aspen, excuse me. I had used Aspen in my former district. Mr. Cleary had used Aspen in at least one of his former districts.
3.
Many of us had used Aspen. We had considered Aspen. It was between Aspen and Power School. We were trying to keep an open mind. I think we kept too much of an open mind, and we probably should have stuck with what we were familiar with. It was a great sales pitch. They did a really good job. But we do know that Aspen will meet the needs, and we'll be able to run the reports and pull the data, and we'll be able to upload CSV files very easily. I mean, simple things that we need to get done quickly, we know that we can do. We actually already know how to do it, a lot of it. So we're biting the bullet and looking to make that change. And Aspen made the transition affordable. They worked with us about spreading some of the cost over a couple of years, so it's not really going to cost us much more than what we're already paying yearly for Aspen. The upload from Power School was very cumbersome. Aspen, we had to do a lot of it on our end at the tech department. Aspen is going to be taking care of most of that, so it should be a much smoother transition. But we're happy to answer any questions on that if you have any.
Noisy one down here, I guess. When is it going to be up and running? When is it being?
We will be using it.
Are you starting it already?
Yeah. Well, yes, we've been starting it. So we will be using it to some degree this summer. Teachers will be using it starting the first day of school.
So I'll be ready to through the training before school.
We'll be training them on one of the first 2 days back. Yes.
Yeah. And so it sounds like that the cost of this is kind of like use-based? Or is it like a package, this is everything we get, and if we had another 100 teachers, it would still be the same? Or how does that work?
I think it's site-based.
The cost is typically based on the number of students relative to the system.
Right.
So we're in a range that whatever the cost, the fee structure is based on the number of users that are in the district. So we're in a pretty safe range.
So
That it's not, even if we have an increase or a decrease, it's not going to change.
it's not going to change it
Yeah.
appreciably?
No.
Ultimately, once we're through the onboarding, because there is a small cost to onboard, we will be saving money. It will yearly be less expensive than Power School after the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is already incorporated into the budget?
Yes.
So it's be no extra costs springing up?
No.
Everybody happy?
Once it's up and running and people are aware how much easier it is to use, yes.
More fun?
Yeah.
in one day?
Kevin?
And yeah, I do wonder, rolling out a new program for parents too, it's challenging at the beginning of a year. I do think I recall there was some challenges with Power School and parents being familiar with it, being able to get access to it and all that. I don't know if there's opportunity to try to send out messages a little before the school year starts and.
We're going to do that. We're going to have an Aspen night where people can come in and we can do some training too. Yeah.
And you're going to do that before school gets out, or?
Well, right now we're in the midst of planning the implementation process, so we just had our first infrastructure meeting, which is a large team meeting, mostly Aspen folks who have all different responsibilities and titles. So we're talking about the data first, and then we'll talk about implementation timeline and training and orientation and so on for staff and for families
So
especially.
you can let us know. when that's
So that'll
gonna
become
be.
part of it. Yep.
The parent portal, I have it now. I've been using the parent portal for Aspen for 15 years. It's very simple. You get a login. We can print out logins. We send them home. You log in. If you have it has your child name, you click on it, and then it's essentially the grades. You can see their grades and assignments. If there's 2 children, you have to pick between the 2, and you can see one, and then click. There's a
come back
button.
in with the other one.
Yeah. It's pretty simple, but we'll have it based on, we'll have each school hold a Aspen night. We can have Chromebooks set up to help people log in for the first time and kind of show them that. It's actually simpler to use it on your phone than it is on the desktop.
On the laptop?
A laptop, yeah. Very easy.
Okay.
So we're eating, I feel like I'm eating a little bit of crow here. We made the wrong choice.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Live and learn.
Yeah. Well, if there are no other questions, I'll go on to the last part of the superintendent's report. So we're in the final stretch. We have 29 days remaining of this school year. Our last day for seniors will be May 29th, and the last day for grades preschool through 11 is Wednesday, June 18th. I did want to mention that we do have a school committee meeting on June 18th. That is going to be a very sparse agenda. There won't be much. That is all for the superintendent's report.
Thank you. We've already done ongoing business for the athletic user fees, so I guess the regional agreement.
So I believe it was a couple meetings ago, we had mentioned that we are well overdue to review the regional agreement. And we had asked to put together a working group, and I believe we have 5 members who are interested in that working group. If I'm not incorrect, I believe all 4 members here tonight. Mrs. Bernard, I believe you told me you were interested?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Span is also. So there's one of 2 ways that we can do this. You can leave this to administration to decide who's in that group, or if the school committee would like to decide who's in that group, we can go that way too.
I
It's too
don't-
bad Chris, because we can give it to the two that aren't here.
That's always, I've got on committees like that a few times.
Gotta show up or you get the win.
Punishment, yeah.
Voluntold.
Do we have a proposal, and is this going to be handled by who is going to be like the organizing?
That would be me.
That's
Yeah,
going to be you?
yeah, I will
superintendent?
be working, yes, I will be working with this
Okay, and
group.
you have, I think maybe it might be helpful to know what the proposed timeline, proposed schedule might be before anybody says anything, so that they don't suddenly realize that it's not a possibility.
Well, the schedule can be open. I would love to meet once a month. I can't really tell you how many meetings it
No,
would
I
be
mean,
because we have to
no,
review that,
right.
but I would like to meet once a month, hopefully starting in August.
Okay.
I have shared with you all digitally. I can get hard copies to you. Let me see if I can bring it. Let me find this here. Sorry, I have 3,000 tabs open. But I have shared with you a checklist of what we need to review. And we can do some of that on our own, so that, and then,
Put some feet in.
right, so that when we meet, each one of those checklist topics can be the agenda for the meeting to go over.
Yep.
There are going to be some parts of this that we don't want to change at all. And there are going to be other parts that need some change. One of the parts that we're going to have to look at is the financial part. So when I say that I'm running that, I am. Mr. Plunkett will absolutely be working with us on that part. Mr. Clear will be working with us on other parts of that. So I would love to start in August, at least once a month, and at least plan on through December, so that we can get that plan into the lawyer for review, and then hopefully to Desi for review and back to us, so that hopefully we can have it voted on in town meetings this time next year.
Sounds good.
That is the loosest timeline that I can give you now.
No, you just,
But hopefully a lot of this can be done even before that first meeting. We'll share the regional agreement with you. We'll give you printed hard copies and digital copies with that checklist on what exactly needs to be reviewed, so that when we meet, it can
so
be
we
very...
look at that in
Yeah, we can be prepared.
July and August.
Yeah. So, right, so you're prepared to give feedback. We can also set up, so if you'd like, you can give feedback digitally right on a Google Doc, just leaving comments, but that is completely up to school committee work. I'm happy to collect that hard copy or through digital means.
Sounds good.
Go ahead, Kevin.
But I just had a thought that I do wonder if 3 people on the working group might be good, just in that once a month, from August to December, with everybody's schedules, kids and everything else. Frequently, I'm guessing 1 may not be available, so that would leave you with 1 if it's only a working group of 2. So I would think
Yeah.
we may want 3.
Thank you for mentioning that. 3 would be the best number to have and the least complicated. I would, because there are so many members that are interested, it would be great to have an alternate also. So if a member can't make it, we could hopefully still have 3 members available at a meeting.
Okay.
Does anyone here want to be the alternate? I guess would be the easiest first question. With Erica not being here, we can't really ask her.
Well, you don't have Chris and you don't have Erica, so I don't know that we can
Well,
ask anybody.
it sounds like
right
Chris
now.
wasn't
I don't think
interested. Is that my understanding?
Chris was interested if there weren't 3 other members who were, if I remember correctly. So he would, but it looks like we have 5 other members who would be interested in being in the group.
Okay.
Looks like that makes Erica the alternate.
Well, we can only have 3 and all 4 of us want it. I don't really know.
Yeah,
This
so-
is new territory to me. I'd like to be a part of it because I haven't done anything like this in my time on school committee, but I understand everyone's, desire to be involved, which is great. So do we just leave it to Dr. Renda to decide, or what do you guys
I
think?
worked on regionalization committees before anything happened, and it was very interesting. And we actually, so now, because it's a region, a mixture of different people, although it shouldn't be that, but I bet it is. So we did a number of them, And at the time, not that they failed, AIR didn't have much interest in regionalizing with Shirley, because we were just Shirley at the time. And that was very interesting, and I would be happy to do it again.
Same here. I mean, I would be interested in doing it to get familiar with regionalization. I was obviously not involved in it previously, so maybe we leave it up to Dr. Renda. Leave it in your good hands. You want to vote?
Okay.
That works for me, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. I will consider that and get back to you. This is very different territory for me. School committee, great.
feel like
And
we're
I
all
will get back to you
auditioning
before
for-
Friday.
We'll find out.
by
A
Friday.
roll.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
thank
happy
you.
to do that. That'd be great.
Well, there's no chairperson here, so I don't think we have any chairperson's notes. Any topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of this meeting? Okay. Communications? All right. Yeah.
I'm just looking at you mentioned the June 18th meeting, and I'm looking at our meeting schedule here. What do you think about just going to a June 10th meeting and getting rid of the 3rd and the 18th?
Don't we have graduation someplace in June?
First Friday.
It's gonna-
June
June
2nd?
6th.
6th?
Six, yeah.
Right.
We're fine with that. You know, I was bringing it up because I don't know if there would be a need.
Right.
Things always come up, but as of right now, and I'm looking at Michelle, we don't have anything
School
on
is
the
still
agenda
going
as of
on,
now.
Right? School is still going on in that
It's the
period.
last day of school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, school is still happening.
It's probably going to be a long day for everyone. Could we just vote on canceling that, or how does that work?
Yeah,
I
we
would
can.
propose we wait till the next meeting to reevaluate it.
That's we'll have a better idea if we would have anything that we'd even put on the agenda by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, stuff is still happening and who knows, and
Yeah, absolutely.
And I should know this, but I don't. But middle school graduation is, it's like a Tuesday or Wednesday. Wednesday
it's
is,
not on here.
Typically, it's the day before the last day of school,
Yeah.
or that. I had this
so maybe it's
conversation with Brian
Tuesday,
the
because
other
I think
night.
it is, I think it's a Tuesday. If the last day is Wednesday, the 18th, is it Tuesday, the 17th, maybe?
I think so.
Let me check
Okay,
what's on
so
the calendar.
then we're still, I just was gonna, I didn't think graduation would be the 10th, but wanted to, just wanted to confirm we also weren't conflicting with other,
And was that like at 6 last year, or 6:30?
Graduation?
Middle school.
I think it's close to, it's either 6 or 6:30.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Yeah,
which.
that's what I said.
don't remember which. I feel like most of our events start at the same time across the district. So I think graduations are pretty close to 6 o'clock.
It's not on our calendar yet. But it,
haven't,
yeah,
don't have a date yet.
yeah. So that's usually when it is, but we can't confirm that. Yeah.
Okay. So the announcements, Monday, May 12th, Shirley Annual Town Meeting, 7:15 at the middle school. Sunday, May 18th is the 20th Annual Janice Bresnahan Run for Education, 10 a.m. at the high school. The Tot Trot starts at 10:30, kids' activities at 11, 2K walk and fun run 11, and the 5K run at noon, and then lunch also at noon. Tuesday, May 20th, the high school spring concert, 6:30 to 8:30 at the high school auditorium. Wednesday, May 21st, school committee meeting, 6:30 at the middle school library. Friday, May 23rd is a 90-minute early release. A late start for preschool, professional development for teachers, lunch will be served. High school dismissal is 12:55, middle school 12:45, Laura White and Paige Hilltop 1:45. On Monday, May 26th, no school for Memorial Day. Wednesday, May 28th, is the Air Shirley Regional High School Academic Awards and Scholarship Night from 6:30 to 8:30 at the high school auditorium. Wednesday, May 28th, CPAC meeting, 6 to 7 in the middle school library. Thursday, May 29th is the last day for seniors. Tuesday, June 3rd is the Laura White Arts Night from 6 to 8 at Laura White. Tuesday, June 3rd, school committee meeting, 6:30 p.m., the high school media center. Tuesday, June 5th, middle school spring band concert from 6 to 8 at the middle school auditorium. And then Friday, June 6th is the class of 2025 graduation. That's at 6 p.m. at the high school.
Doc, can you give us an update on the elementary administration changes?
Absolutely. We had the opening at Page Hilltop. The assistant principal there was an interim position, and we had decided that to end that interim role, which put that person is going back into the classroom, which it opened up. So we post those jobs internally for 10 days before they go to school spring.
Right.
While it was posted, Mrs. Lewis, Beth Lewis, the principal of Lowry, reached out to me and was interested in returning, and I say returning because she was the assistant principal at Page Hilltop, I'm not sure how long ago. So I told her that I could see that working, but I wanted her to reach out to Mrs. Faulkner to see if that would work for both of them. Mrs. Faulkner was happy with that. So we had decided to transfer Mrs. Lewis into the assistant principal role. She's looking for something a little bit less than a school principal job. Mrs. Lewis is a great principal. She's done a great job. I would have been perfectly happy keeping her in that position, but this was really a decision that she thought was best for her. So it looks like it's going to work out between Mrs. Faulkner and Mrs. Lewis, so we decided to go ahead and allow that transfer.
What about LAW?
So we posted for a principal job, and the search now is in progress.
Right. Well, the pressure's going to be on because the Lewis transfer was because we had a dumpster fire going on over there. I mean, we've had 5 principals since the district was formed. And when you've had that many changes at the top,
Yeah.
the teachers, the parents, nobody likes that. So pressure's on you.
It is.
Right?
It
To make
is.
a good choice because, I mean, before Beth went over there, we sat in this room and we had multiple parents in here complaining about neglect
Yeah.
over there, you know, so, and the ultimate fix, I remember Beth going, when are they gonna make a decision? It's been 10 days. So I'm like, oh, this is internal. You know, and once it was announced, we told the parents, I said, come, if you have any problems, come back here in 3 weeks at the next meeting. And of course, Beth Lewis fixes everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, she's done a great job.
She's very savvy. She's absolutely
Yeah.
outstanding, so.
Yeah, and she's, I would say that school is very stable, and that's because of Mrs. Lewis.
Right.
So it's always difficult when you don't necessarily want a change in leadership.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's as you know, an extremely hard worker.
Yeah.
And an extremely competent leader. And this is a change that she wanted, and I want her to be a leader in this district at whatever capacity we can have her at.
Right. So tell her first capacity is that she's on screening.
What?
Okay, that's her first capacity.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out well, I'm going to evict her cousin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's how it
good,
goes.
Jim.
Sean is gone.
We can use that as leverage. I
There you go.
appreciate
Work that.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have a need for executive session this evening?
No need at this time.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn then.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn, if I can see the clock right. Thank you, it's 7:40. Thank you, Kevin.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.